there are different types of clients for different types of services. So for example, for the preliminary market research, which is the first service that I will be discussing, I think we've come to realize that there are some clients who have a very good idea of what they want to do, and maybe they have a lot of experience abroad. So for example, maybe they have restaurant abroad, for example, but they're not sure if the type of the food that they're selling abroad would sell well in Canada, or what kind of location they are supposed to choose in order to have the best type of a restaurant in there. Maybe they don't want to end up in an area where you have like 5 different restaurants who are completely the same as theirs. So this is where our preliminary immigration market research comes in. And what is different about this product is that we developed it to cater definitely to the needs of the immigration clients. It doesn't contain only the information about, for example, the target market, the demand for the services provided, or maybe some kind of information about whether the industry is poised for growth or not. So we go much deeper into it. We explain also what is the location that the client should consider. Why is this a location that they should be considering? And for example, we do propositions, or for example, like if you want to do pricing analysis, what is the price that other people are charging for a similar service, or what are the revenue streams, for example. You may want to charge a subscription, or you want to charge a one-time fee. So these are all the propositions that we call business model suggestions. We also go much deeper into the hiring plan. In this case, once we're done with the preliminary immigration market research, the client would not need to populate the questionnaire. They would know everything they need to know in order to start with the business plan. So we would also propose a hiring plan. We would say, for example, this type of businesses would hire one sales representative, and maybe like they would have 2 providers on average. So this might be something that is much different in Canada than in other countries. So for example, when we talk about agriculture, this is a very important area in Canada, and it's done much different than in other countries. So for example, in India, you would typically go more labor intensive, whereas in Canada you would have more machines for everything, and you would not hire many people for this. So this is something like a specific thing that's really only available. This knowledge is only available to consultants who are very acquainted with the topic, who have experience in Canada, who are able to understand the whole viability of this type of businesses. We would also go into potential suppliers. This is also something that people are struggling with. So they come to Canada, they're not sure how they're going to be able to find the supplies that they need. For example, they are doing some kind of a manufacturing of furniture, and they want to know where can they get wood or glue or whatever supplies that they need. Sometimes it's very hard to find companies that could help you, that you can work with. So this is something that we also use our local knowledge for in order to assist you. So this is a service that I would say is very well developed for people who have narrowed down what they want to do in Canada, but they're not sure how to do it. And the second type of a product would be idea selection. And then in this case, this is like for people who are entrepreneurs. They know they want to do business in Canada, but they're not completely sure what kind of a business they should start. So for example, they have experience in several different industries. They have a very good education, maybe in a topic that's very specific. Like for example, I've had clients who are experienced with sales, but they also had a restaurant in the past, but they also were running a factory. So they've had different jobs throughout the history. They have like 20 years of experience, but they're not completely sure what type of their experience would be the most applicable in Canada. So in this case, we would start with really gathering as much as information as we can get from the client in terms of their preferences, their knowledge, their experience, and really just their ambitions when it comes to Canada. And then we would define a list of like 15 to 20 business ideas that would work the best for them. So these were the ideas that are really something that we believe can be successful in Canada. So this is our primary thing that we are discussing. Will this work in Canada? Because we want to advise you on a business side. But we also take into consideration whether or not this business idea really matches the immigration program that the client has chosen, and also whether or not this idea matches their preferences, knowledge, experience. So I think it's the best if we could find something for the client that really connects all of those three things: their preferences, the program that they've chosen, and that it's promising a good success in Canada. Because, we're not just trying to get people to come to Canada, we also want them to be successful when they come here. So once we have this list of 15 to 20 ideas, we would typically do a brainstorm session with the client or with a consultant representing the client. And in this case, we could just discuss about different ideas and see do they match the client's preferences, etc. So in this case, we are hoping to narrow down, because we want to do a very detailed document that would provide more insights into 3 to 5 ideas that the client liked the most. We believe there's no benefit to client receiving a document like 50, 100 pages that would explain 20 different ideas. We really want to focus on the ones that promise the most. So in this case, I would also like to emphasize that I've had clients who at this point really realize that they're only interested in 1 to 2 ideas, maybe max. And in this case, we say, okay, so we can go into the preliminary market research and just explain this idea that you're interested in particular in more depth, But if the client is still not sure and wants to know about 3 to 5 different ideas, then we proceed to do the idea selection document. And in this document, we provide the grade for each idea. We say, for example, okay, so it's our opinion that this idea would work the best. It has a very good growth potential. It's a very good match for the client's needs. And then we just do a recommendation of 1 to 2 ideas that we find are completely the best for this client. Of course, we always emphasize it's very important to know that the client is the one who is choosing the final idea. So we don't do the selection of the idea on behalf of the client. We just propose the ideas that the client should consider in order to be successful in Canada.